What's going on, Mert fam? Thank you for tuning in to episode 11 of our 31 Days of Halloween Challenge. I hope that you guys are ready for an extra spooktacular movie review. But before we get into this Jeepers Creepers review, I want to make sure that everybody likes, subscribes. Go ahead, tap that notification bell one time. I just want to make sure that all of these awesome 31 Days of Halloween videos I'm putting up for you guys, you're able to view them, click them, like them, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple. Now, without further ado, let's jump into this Jeepers Creepers review, guys. This movie right here is a certified classic, all right? We don't need to ask no questions. The first Jeepers Creepers movie definitely set in stone that this guy is nobody to play with. The way that they produced and directed this movie was unlike any other. I've never seen anything like Jeepers Creepers before its time, and of course, afterwards, we definitely saw a lot of knockoffs. Even the sequels and the third movie were just absolutely terrible. But like I said, this first one is a certified OG, and it doesn't have much to prove because it served its time in the streets. Now let's talk about the plot or the premise of this movie. So it really revolves around brother and sister Trish and Daryl Jenner. They're on their way home from college. They're gonna go visit their parents and have some good old family time. Maybe it's Thanksgiving, I'm not sure, because it seems like it takes place somewhere on the west coast of the United States. So the brother and sister are just really driving down this road, having some good old brother and sister banter while playing some highway road game. This is where the movie begins to veer off course. I'm sure that a lot of critics and viewers got a little lost and forgot that this is a horror movie. I love a good film like that where just the character development and the dialogue between two characters gets your mind off of what the movie is really about. This is how you can put your feelers out and sense if it's going to be a good movie. So while they're playing this license plate game, they are struck from behind by this really nasty, dark looking car. It was like a gigantic PT Cruiser / Hearst. The windows were all blacked out like Donald Trump was back there, and the horn blared so loud, like it just sounded really scary, the horn itself. After you've watched this movie a couple times, when you rewatch it, things make a little more sense. Now, this is a spoiler warning for people who have not watched Jeepers Creepers. What he does is he scares you enough so that he can smell the fear inside of you, and there's something about that fear that you're letting off. He can absorb and smell what he wants from you, whether it's a heart, a lung, your feet, your hand, your head, it doesn't matter, eyeballs even. So what he does is he scares you, kind of sniffs around, trying to figure out what he wants, and if he doesn't need anything, then he goes about his business. So when you rewatch this, you kind of learn that maybe what they had, it wasn't worth his time, so he skirts around them and he just kind of goes away. They crashed. It was a whole scene. I don't want to ruin every bit and piece of this movie. So as Trish and Daryl are driving down the highway, they find that truck parked next to this church. And for some reason, they're able to watch this whole scene go on. But when you're driving on the road, you pretty much are going to pass something. They obviously slowed down enough for Daryl to focus in on what he saw. It was Jeepers Creepers picking up this thing. It looked like a body wrapped in a white sheet with red bloodstains. And he literally tosses this thing down a pipe. The musical score alone during these moments when Jeepers Creepers is around, it was really hair-raising. They drive off, but Daryl convinces his sister to turn back so that they can check what was going on. All right, now this is a white people problem, okay? Caucasians want to always investigate and overly do their duties and try to figure out why someone is throwing dead bodies down a pipe instead of maybe calling the police. But that is just what these two fair-skinned teenagers do. They approach the property of this church. They look into this pipe. It really smells bad. They try to do a little investigating, but the brother seamlessly slips down this pipe and he finds a whole death workshop down there. It was really disgusting. I'm not going to go into severe details just in case you haven't seen it, but if you've seen it, you know how nasty this scene was. As the story continues, they end up evacuating from the church because what they seen was so extreme, they decided to then go call the police, which is cool. And they end up getting to this gas station where they start to call and they receive calls from this psychic lady. Look, the movie begins to get really intense. There's a lady with some cats, and the way that Jeepers Creepers is stalking them is like in a scarecrow position in the night. The way that they never really show Jeepers Creepers in this movie is what separates it from Jeepers Creepers 2 and 3. I felt like the sequels just made him so friendly and funny, and they didn't want to steer more towards the horror, more towards the comedy. But this initial Jeepers Creepers movie really set the tone, man. They never showed his face really, and when they did, it was in a silhouette type of fashion where he was in the dark, or you see him him from afar, and that's what really kept everybody on the edge of your seat because you didn't know what this guy looked like. It gets to the point in the movie where the police get involved, and it's a whole police station thing going on with Jeepers Creepers, and for me, that was the best part of this movie, man. It ended in such a way as well that I was just like jaw dropped on the floor, okay? There's some things that I don't want to ruin, but when they were in the police station, okay, the way that Jeepers Creepers breaks in and he starts to eat certain prisoners to regain things that he's lost from fighting with Trish and Daryl and other scenes of the movie was absolutely horrific. I don't know if that's a word, but it's gonna be today, all right? It was gore-rific. At the end of the day, this movie has set its precedence from the day it was released, and because it was such a fashionably horrific movie, man, I'm gonna have to give Jeepers Creepers a 10 out of 10. I think that it really did its job for its time. Now, you have to remember, this movie came out over a decade ago, so you gotta give it a little bit of room to grow on you, okay? Some CGI may not have aged well, but for the most part, the movie being what it was when it came out just did its job, all right? But what did you guys think of this review? Did you hate it? Did you like it? Did you love it? Only way that I'm gonna know is if you jump in my comment section and we have a full-on discussion, man. I can't believe that we're literally on episode 11. Literally tomorrow, you're gonna be watching a whole new review, man. I hope that you guys enjoyed and watched this review with your fams or your friends or you share it with your peeps. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Merc. It's been a pleasure, but I'm out.